breaking news out of 2025. And this could be the moment that millions of Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong holders have been waiting on for years. Frank26, one of the most well-known and talked-about voices in the Dinar community, has just dropped statements that are lighting up the internet. He's saying that exchanges are happening right now, not sometime in the future, and that the long-anticipated revaluation might finally be moving from rumor into reality. Picture holding on to your dinar for years, sifting through rumor after rumor, waiting for that one piece of confirmation and now hearing that the wheels might already be turning. This is the kind of update that makes people lean in, wondering if today could really be the day things change. In this video, we're going to unpack what Frank26 actually said, what it could mean for holders of IQD and VND, and why this moment feels different from all the letdowns of the past decade. Frank26 has always been a lightning rod in this space. For years, he's been putting out updates, hosting calls, and sharing intel that his followers believe gives them a sneak peek at what's happening inside Iraq's financial system. Some swear by him as someone with insider access, while others say his predictions often miss the mark. But one thing is undeniable. When Frank talks, the dinar community listens. And this time, he isn't just dropping vague hints. He's flat out claiming that live exchanges are already happening, that banks are moving money in the background, and that the systems are syncing up for a big shift in how the dinar is valued worldwide. If that turns out to be true, this could be the most significant development in this story in decades. So naturally, the question everyone's asking is, could this finally be the real breakthrough? Let's look at the details of what's being discussed right now. According to Frank26's latest message, the Central Bank of Iraq has already made internal system changes, saying these aren't the routine updates we've seen in the past, but rather signs that the bank is preparing for a full-on currency adjustment. On top of that, he claims international banks outside Iraq are now getting new procedures on how to handle Iraqi dinar transactions. If you've been following this for a while, you know that global coordination is a massive piece of the puzzle. Iraq alone can't pull off a revaluation without its banking partners abroad. So if banks are actually prepping like this, then it suggests that something real could be in motion, not just chatter, but actual progress. This is where the excitement really takes off. For years, the community has been told to wait for a moment when the dinar would suddenly rise in value. It's often referred to as the RV. Over and over, those moments came and went without results, leaving investors frustrated. But this time, Frank is pointing to things you can't just dismiss: system updates, banking coordination, and what he describes as live activity. He's saying exchanges are already happening behind closed doors, that certain groups are quietly exchanging at higher rates, and that a bigger public rollout may be close. For holders of IQD and VND, this feels like more than hype. It feels like something is finally shifting. Now let's bring the Vietnamese Dong into the conversation. According to Frank, the VND is tied to the same wave of events as the IQD. Vietnam's economy has been growing, their trade has been expanding, and their financial system has been making adjustments. Some people speculate that Vietnam could line up its own revaluation alongside Iraq, creating a kind of double event that rewards investors holding both currencies. Imagine not just one, but two currencies revaluing in the same season. That's the dream scenario that has people buzzing right now. Whether or not it happens is still up in the air, but the fact that it's even being talked about is adding fuel to the fire. For long-time holders, this moment is a mix of hope and caution. Over the years, there have been so many predictions that didn't pan out. People have rearranged their lives, tied up savings, and hung on through disappointment after disappointment. And yet here we are in 2025, still talking about the possibility, but with a level of intensity that feels different. Frank26's claim about live exchanges hits harder because he's not saying soon or someday, saying it's already happening right now. If you've been waiting patiently, those words hit like lightning after years of calm. But here's where we have to be real. Iraq's economy is still heavily dependent on oil, with about 90% of government income tied to it. Political stability is fragile, with ongoing tensions that often slow progress. The banking system has been improving, but still faces hurdles in connecting smoothly with global finance. These are the practical realities that matter when it comes to whether a revaluation can actually hold. A sudden jump in value has to be supported by real economic strength, or it risks collapsing. That's why many financial experts remain skeptical, even as the hype grows louder. Still, for anyone holding dinar or dong, the idea that something could finally be happening is hard to ignore. Imagine checking your bank account one morning and seeing your balance jump because of a rate change. Imagine walking into a branch and being told your dinars are suddenly worth way more than you thought. These what-if scenarios are what keep people connected to the story year after year. When Frank drops updates like this, it taps into all that anticipation. The claims about exchanges already being live have cranked the excitement up to a whole new level. But what would this actually look like for the average person if it's real? Could you walk into your bank today and exchange at a new rate? Or are these exchanges limited to certain groups, insiders, or people with special connections? That's what a lot of holders are asking right now. Because if only a select few are exchanging, then most everyday investors are still waiting for the official rollout. Understanding this difference is important. It keeps expectations grounded while hope continues to grow. Regulations are another big factor to remember. Any major currency move would have to follow international laws, anti-money laundering standards, and reporting requirements. Banks can't just start exchanging billions overnight without oversight. If this revaluation really is unfolding, you can bet that governments and regulators are paying close attention. That's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. Even if things are moving behind the scenes, it would need to line up with the rules of the global financial system, which adds a whole new layer of complexity. So what should investors take from all this? First, keep things in perspective. Don't let hype be the only thing guiding your financial choices. Claims like this are exciting, but unverified statements always need caution. Second, watch the actual economic developments in Iraq and Vietnam oil production, trade deals, banking reforms. Those are the real signals of long-term value. And third, make sure any money you've got in speculative currencies is just a small slice of your overall financial plan. That way, no matter what happens, your future is still steady. The emotional roller coaster of the dinar and dong story has been intense. People have built dreams around the idea of a life-changing event. Some even delayed major decisions, waiting for the RV to hit. If today's claims from Frank turn out to be true, it could instantly change lives. But if not, then that's another reminder of what we've all learned over the years. Patience and caution matter most. Either way, this is a big moment for the community, and the buzz right now is impossible to ignore. The real test, as always, will play out in the days ahead. We see proof that exchanges are actually happening. Will banks step up and make official statements? Will higher rates start showing up for everyday investors? Those are the questions that matter now, and the answers will reveal if this is the breakthrough or just another headline. For those holding VND, Vietnam's bigger picture is worth watching closely. Their GDP has been on the rise, trade ties are expanding, and monetary reforms are ongoing. All positive signs, but whether they translate into a revaluation is still unknown. Iraq and Vietnam get tied together in speculation circles, but in reality, their financial systems run under very different conditions. Still, if both did move at the same time, the impact would be massive. That possibility alone keeps people tuned in year after year. Looking at everything happening today, one thing is obvious. The excitement in 2025 feels different from what we've seen before. Frank's claim that exchanges are already happening has reignited conversations in a huge way. Whether you buy into it or not, the energy in the community is real. It's sparking debates, renewing interest, and pulling people back into the discussion about what's possible. This story refuses to die right now. It feels closer to reality than ever. So here's the takeaway. If you're holding Iraqi dinars or Vietnamese dong, stay sharp, stay realistic, and stay informed. Don't let hype be the only voice you listen to, but don't completely dismiss the chance that something could actually be happening either. Keep an eye out for signs that can be confirmed, and balance your expectations with reality. And above all, remember this is just one piece of your bigger financial future. Whether the revaluation happens today, tomorrow, or years from now, the best approach is to be prepared for anything. What about you? Do you believe Frank when he says exchanges are live? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your journey with the dinar, and let's keep this conversation going.